today's presentation, we're going to talk about guaranteed withdrawal benefit plans, also known as guaranteed income contracts. Now, as of this recording, there's only a few insurance companies in Canada that are still providing these contracts. And in this presentation, I'm using guarantees from a single provider. Now, 1 in 2 Canadians expect lower standards of living in retirement than what they have today. So let's talk about some retirement trends. Well, we're dealing with an aging population. There are more seniors and children. That's because baby boomers are also in retirement stages. There's an increasingly female aging population. Longevity combined with being single or widowed. There's less income support from traditional sources. Government sources are under pressure, and I think they're going to be under some added pressure in the future because of the debt and because of the deficits that we're dealing with as a result of COVID-19. Workplace pension coverage is also decreasing. Back in the 80s, 82% of Canadian corporations offer some kind of group benefit and or pension plan. Now that number is well below 50%. And with companies that are still offering some form of defined benefit pension plan, they are now transitioning into a defined contribution plan, meaning you're not guaranteed your income in retirement, you're just guaranteed what the contributions are going to be for your retirement. Traditional retirement investments are also not working. 20, 30 years ago, people would invest their retirement savings in bonds, GICs, paying high single, low double-digit returns. We've been in a low-yield environment, expect to be so in the next few years. So traditional interest type of investments are no longer offering an adequate income for retirement purposes. Now, in order to receive a higher level of income, people will then have to take on more risk, and they're just not interested in taking on that added risk in retirement. So what are some retirement planning risks? Longevity is one of them. People are now afraid of outliving their own money. There's also inflation risk. At this point in time, inflation has been fairly low, but there is a concern that we might start to see some increase in inflation moving forward. There's also market risk. The problem with investing all your money in the marketplace is there's no time for investments to recover if there is a correction. There's also sequence of returns risk. That's negative returns in the early years may exhaust funds at a much earlier age. So if you can see here and you look at the red line, if you invest your money and you start drawing from it in retirement and you start off with negative returns in the marketplace, you significantly will reduce the value of your investments. And you can see in this scenario, an individual will run out of money by the time they're 80. Now, if you start taking income and you invest in the markets and you start off with positive returns, then you can see that the scenario is very different. So why consider a guaranteed withdrawal benefit? Back in 2015, LIMRA performed a survey, and 6 in 10 pre-retirees want guaranteed income for life. That's the result of the survey. So what are some of the top reasons to invest in a guaranteed withdrawal benefit contract? Well, the guaranteed income is for life, as long as there's no excess withdrawals, and we'll talk about that. There's an annual 4% income-based bonus. Annual automatic income resets. 75% death benefit and maturity benefit guarantees reduce proportionally for withdrawals. There's also automatic death benefit guarantee resets every 3 years until you reach the age of 80. There's also some retirement income privileges. So let's look at this scenario. With that 4% annual income-based bonus, let's look at the benefit of that contract. So if you invest $200,000 in year 1, every single year that you don't draw money from the contract, you receive that 4% bonus on a calendar year basis. If you continue on receiving that 4% for 15 years until you start drawing, your income base actually grows to $320,000, starting off from your $200,000 initial investment. So in this example, your income base increases by 60% in 15 years, which is significant. So let's talk about a scenario here, and this is a pre-retiree scenario. So Sarah invests $250,000 at the age of 50 and defers taking income. She's eligible for 15 years of 4% annual income-based bonus and resets and begins to draw income at the age of 65. Now, with the guaranteed withdrawal benefit, it can actually increase Sarah's guaranteed retirement income even in down markets. So if you look at the blue chart, each and every single year you can see a decline. So we're projecting a negative 2% annual return, and the market value is declining by 2%. However, the income increases every single year regardless of the market performance. So by the time Sarah reaches the age of 65, she would qualify no worse than $15,600 a year of annual income until she passes away. Now let's look at the positive scenario. So let's say that the market value is increasing over that 15-year period prior to Sarah receiving the funds. Well, then her annual income by the time she's 65, because of resets, is guaranteed to be no less than $21,497 per year. Now let's talk about someone who's actually set to retire and wants to invest in a contract like this. We'll use Richard as an example. He's age 65 and just retired. He invests $400,000 and wants to start income immediately. He's concerned that he might outlive his savings. And he's going to enjoy guaranteed retirement income for life no matter how the markets perform in this contract. And the investment growth locked in with income-based resets as well. So here's a worst case scenario for Richard. If he puts in the $400,000 and the markets start to decline and he starts to draw income, his lifetime income is guaranteed to be $16,000 per year for the rest of his life, regardless of market performance. This is a worst case scenario. Now, let's say Richard puts in the money, the $400,000 at age 65, and the markets are increasing over a period of time. Well, in the first 4 years, you can see that his annual income is $16,000. And then because of resets, it bumps up to $19,825. Once it bumps up to that $19,825, it can't be less than that. And then from there, you can see a few years later that it bumps up to $27,547. Once again, that's because of resets, and it can never be below that, even if the markets start to go on a downward cycle. So if you're interested in taking a look at a guaranteed income contract, the impact it might have on your retirement, and what your numbers might be, please reach out to me at financial@tvhgroup.ca, or you can call it 647-727-4668. All I need is some information. I'll be able to run the numbers and send you a proposal. Thank you and take care.